So on this video we are going to study the charge, how the charge can appear in the universe. The charge is related with the atomic structure of the matter. Matter is composed of protons, of a nucleus with its protons, positive charge, and electron, negative charge. Between them there is an interaction. So the interaction that we are going to study is the electromagnetic interaction. So what happened? What happened is the following thing. Why we don't appreciate electrical effects in our daily life? We don't appreciate electrical effects because the matter that we deal normally, the pen that you have in your hand, whatever you touch, is electrically neutrous. Electrically have the same quantity of positive charge and negative charge. So we have to think like this. There is an attribute of the matter that is the charge. And this attribute of the matter that is the charge can be a positive attribute and a negative attribute. So we want to isolate the attribute to put it only positive, or to isolate the attribute to put it only negative, and to see what is the effect of this interaction. So, let's go to make some pictures. Pictures. Let me see. Well, at the end, I want to tell you that the forces that exist on the universe are only four forces, four known forces. We try to explain everything that happens around us in terms of these four forces. The first force is the gravitational force. We already studied the gravitational force. In the last course, I suppose you studied gravitational force. The second force is the one that we are going now to study, and is the electromagnetic forces. And these electromagnetic forces appear. These gravitational forces, why it appear? It appear because the matter has an attribute, and the attribute is the mass. And another matters have the attribute of another mass, and between them there is an interaction. So the force that is acting on M due to M is attractive, and the force that is acting on M due to M is attractive, and the mass is always positive, maybe equal zero, but never is negative. The mass is never negative. So when we study the gravitational force, what we see that, for example, the force that is acting on M, capital M, due to M, is a constant, is the product of the mass, the product of the attribute divided by the distance squared that separate both mass from the center, let's say, distance squared, and there is a vector that we call u sub r, that is the vector that is originate on the mass, on the source. The force is acting on this mass, so the u sub r is originate on the source, that is the m in this case, and so we find the vector d that go from the mass m to the mass m big. We find the vector d, and from the vector d we find u sub r, that is the vector d divided by his magnitude. that is a unit vector in the directions that goes from M to capital M, and this is the force. But this force doesn't go on the direction of u sub r. This force goes in the opposite direction of u sub r. Why? Because it's attractive. It's go to this way. U sub r is this vector, so u sub r is this vector. I can translate the vector. Translate it here, the vector, so this is u sub r. So minus u sub r is this vector and have to be coincidence with the force. The force is going in this direction also, the force of M. So this is the expression for the force, for the gravitational force. And what we want to emphasize that we have an attribute that is the mass that can be zero, for photons can be zero, and due to this attribute, the mass, we found gravitational force. We have interaction between matters. Now we are going to find the interaction between matters that have positive or negative charge, a positive attribute or a negative attribute. So how we can understand this? Matters is made of atoms, and atoms have positive charge and negative charge. The negative charge you have to visualize like a cloud of negative charge surrounded the positive charge, and the center of mass of the positive charge and the center of mass of the negative charge. For atoms that are electrically not charged, with charge Q equals 0, for these atoms, the center of mass of the positive charge and the center of mass of the negative charge are in the same place. So what happened? What happened is that we have an atoms with the center of mass in the same position for the positive charge and for the negative charge. When we try to put a small charge here and we try to see the electrical interaction between these two charges, the positive and the negative, what will happen is that one will pull with a force in one direction, and the other one will pull with the force in the opposite direction. So you will not observe electrical effect on this charge. So how can we observe electrical effect on the charge? The way we have to observe electrical effect is to isolate the attribute. To isolate the attribute is to extract negative charge and put it in one place alone, or to extract positive charge. How we can do this? Well, we did an experiment, a simple experiment in class, where we wrap a pen, a plastic pen against my shirt, and we could change the attribute of the pen. Let's say that is positive, and my shirt then become negative. What happened here? What happened here is that we could, by wrapping one object to another object, we could be able to transfer attribute to one place from another place. So in this case, the cloth was electrically neutral, what electrically without charge. The pen was electrically without charge. In this case, if I want to find this, to arrive to this position, what I have to do is, these have also Q0. So how can I arrive to this position? I extract negative charge and put it here. So if I extract one negative charge, this object will be with one positive charge. If I extract another negative charge, this object, this one, will be 2 times negative, while this one will be 2 times positive. And if I extract the third one, I will find, if I extract the third negative electrons that are the ones that are easily to move, so my t-shirt will be with negative charge, 3 negative, and the pen will be with positive charge. So now I observe interaction between them. I observe that this attribute attracts this attribute. And this one attracts this one. So there are electrical interaction now.